What's going on, everyone? In today's video, I'm going to show you how you can find some teacher edition high school books that you can flip on Amazon for a pretty significant profit. Now, I know what you're thinking. You're like, Joji, there's no way that you can sell teacher edition books on Amazon. Well, I'm here to tell you that you absolutely can, but we got to kind of talk about how you do. Now, today's topic is how we can source teacher edition books. Now, what I'll say is that, there are definitely going to be both student editions and also teacher edition listings on Amazon. And you're going to be really careful to make sure that when you do sell a teacher edition book, that it's on a specific listing for a teacher's edition. For example, you'll see that this book here specifically in the actual listing says teacher's edition. There's obviously a version of this book that's for the student edition. And you would never want to sell a teacher's edition on a student edition listing, just like you would never want to sell a student edition listing on a teacher edition listing. So the point I'm trying to make here is that there are tons of teacher's edition books out there that can sell for great money, and you can sell them on this specific listing for the teacher's edition. Now, the reason why I love teacher's editions so much is because they tend to be a lot more rare than the student edition listing. That's just because if you think about it logically, there's always going to be way more students than there are teachers. So there are just fewer books out there. It just means that the offer counts don't tend to go super high and you don't tend to have oversupply. Also, they can be seasonal books, which means that if they're specifically a high school book, they can get cheaper in the off season, and then it can inflate in price, right when people go back to school, right when students go back to school. And they can also sell for tons of money. And I think one of the reasons why is because, the people who are making the decision to buy these books are actually working for a school or an organization. And the people who are making the purchasing decision are not spending their own money. They're spending the money of the organization. And so oftentimes these books can sell for some pretty good money. And what we're going to do right now is go to Keep a Product Finder. I'm going to show you how you can find some of these teacher edition books. All right, so the way that we're going to do this is utilizing a software called Keepa. Keepa is not a free software to use. You have to pay about $20-something a month. It's absolutely worth it. I would not be able to sell six figures worth of books on Amazon without it. So it's absolutely necessary and also worth it. So you're going to need to get yourself a Keepa subscription, but we're going to use the Keepa Product Finder searching tool with Keepa. And the way that we're going to do that is we're just going to go to keepa.com. We're going to come up here where we see the data tab, and then we're going to come up here to the top left that says Keepa Product Finder. And what we're going to do is input some very specific parameters to find these teacher edition books. And let me show you how. So the first thing that we're going to want to do is scroll all the way down to the product categories, because we're going to want to specifically search the book category because we're trying to source books. So we're going to come here under all root categories, and then we're going to select books. Now under the text field, we're actually going to write in teachers '(S), because a lot of listings that have teacher edition in them have teacher '(S). So we're looking for any listing that's in the book category that has teacher '(S) in it, because it's likely that that could be a teacher edition listing. Now we're going to scroll all the way up to the top and find current use price. So what we're going to say is that over the last 90 days, which would be over the last 3 months, this book has actually dropped in price, we'll say by at least 35%. So I'm going to put a 35% value in there. It could be 35% all the way up to 100%. And the idea here is that we're trying to find something that was higher priced in the past and is now a little bit cheaper relative to today. And then the last thing that we're going to do is we're just going to go ahead and put in a sales rank, an average sales rank of, let's say, up to 2,750,000, just to give us books that are actually selling. And you'll see this actually gives us back 310 results. Real quick, if you want to join the free Discord, you can do so down below. If you want to join the Amazon Masterclass, you can also join that down below. We have over 200 students in it, and I've only heard positive feedback from it so far. So if you want to join, make sure you go to the link in the description. And of course, you could change any of these parameters any way that you want. You could change the sales rank, you can make it lower, you can make it higher, and it's going to return different results. And that's the beauty of it. Keep a Product Finder is a way for you to sift through, literally tens of thousands, even millions of books to find the books that you're looking for. And so what we're going to do is just click this Find Products button. And then now we're going to manual search, which means we're going to look through these books one by one, and we're going to try to find any teacher edition book out there that potentially could be worth flipping. Already, I see a couple of books here that definitely say teacher's edition in them. And if we just go in and click on a couple of these, you can see, for example, this book here, it definitely tends to ebb and flow in price. So you can see there are periods of time where it gets cheaper, and then you can see times where it goes a little bit higher. And you can actually see that the used buy box of this book pretty consistently hangs out around the $24 to $25 mark. Now, this is a book that, because Amazon's selling for $30, there's not going to be a lot of room for us to sell it and make a lot of profit, but you can see that this is definitely a teacher's guide to classroom observation. This book right underneath it, this actually does in the listing say teacher's edition. There it is right there, teacher's edition. Saxon Publishers. By the way, Saxon Publishers is a great homeschool publisher. There's tons of great Saxon books out there. And in another video, maybe we can look for Saxon Publisher books that are flippable. But in any case, here's a book that you can see definitely improves in sales rank right around July, August, September, which is, when homeschool parents would definitely want to be picking these books up more. And you can see the buy box price is pretty consistently in the 25 to 30 and sometimes can get pretty crazy and pretty high. But you can see this is a book that right now is right around $5. The offer count is actually, if you look at today's offer count and the same time last year, 365 days ago, is actually lower than it was in the past by about 20. So the offer count is lower, the used price is lower. I mean, this is a book that you could potentially pick up for maybe right around $8 or $9 plus shipping, and then potentially sell for 30 or 40 bucks, when we come around the next high school textbook season. Okay, here's another book that you can see if I just populate, hover over the listing here and look at the keeper graph. You can also see that this also has an amazing sales rank, stereotypical U-shaped pattern in July, August, September. You can see that the used price climbs up to 25.30, and you can see that the used price today is right around 366. So that'd be another great high school teacher edition book that you could potentially flip in the future. Now, looks like that new price is kind of right around the $30 mark pretty consistently throughout the year. So again, we're looking at just the first handful of results that are showing. And, a lot of the books that I tend to like to flip are going to be the books that actually sell a little less frequently, but could sell for a lot higher average selling price. So while these books that I'm showing you are by no means bad books and you could probably flip them, I'd probably be looking for books that potentially can offer higher returns, but might sell a little bit more slowly. For example, this book right here, you can actually see that it's been in and out of stock kind of throughout the whole year, but can easily sell over $50, $60, even up to $100. And so this might be a book that you would consider tracking if it ever gets super low in the future. I would definitely consider picking this book up for right around like 20 or so bucks. I think you could easily flip for 60 or more dollars. You can actually see that just the last handful of sales rank drops have been 70. This one was at 149. And then you can see a sales rank drop here at 60. And then you can actually see the used price of this book just drop from 60 to 51. So at $50, I'm not a buyer for sure, but at a cheaper price, maybe right around the, like I said, $20 mark, this might be something I'd be interested in. Here's another interesting book that is also a teacher edition book. Looks like in July, August, September, it can get up to $25, maybe even more. Currently, it's right around $5. Here's another one that looks like it hangs out in the 25 to 30 range. It's right around $9 or $10 right now. Obviously not every book that you look through is going to be an amazing book, but you are going to find quite a few seasonal books that you could probably buy year in and year out that, are not going to be amazing flips, but definitely books that you can spend $10, $15 on and make $10, $15 profit on. So definitely not bad books by any means. But here's the first book that to me looks to be a winner. You can see that over the last year, this is a book that's been right around $50. The used price been selling pretty frequently. Even the buy box price has pretty consistently, has consistently been higher than even the new price. So maybe that's a new third-party merchant seller has a lot of shipping attached to their price. But you can see the buy box price of this up in the $60 range. You can actually see this book just, is right around $18 to $20. You can see that the new price currently is also really low, but what we can do is do a little bit more investigation on this book to see what's going on with it. Maybe somebody came in stock with a whole bunch of new copies. Let's take a look. So I can search up here by the filter and we can look at new, and we can see that Lindsay Kim books here. Looks like the stock quantity is loading so for whatever reason, Keepa's kind of being a little slow right now, but let's say she only has one in stock. That might not be too bad, and this might be something we'd consider purchasing. You can see that over the last 3 or 4 years, this is a solid book. It's been selling pretty consistently for 60 or 70 bucks. And I know that this Envision Geometry book is a book that is going to be used for years in the future because my school just adopted Envision for all of our math curriculum. So I know that it's going to be used for a while. So this is definitely a book that I think could do well. You'd be picking this book up for right around like $22, $23. And I think that this is a book that, once that, I think it's just one in stock there in new condition. But if you kind of just sold it for what it historically sells for, that's a nice $15 profit there. And again, that'd be a teacher's edition book. Here's another book that looks amazing. Geometry Common Core Teacher's Edition Volume 1. What you can see is that over the last year, this has pretty much always been $45 or more. And you can see how the sales rank improved pretty drastically July, August, September there. The lowest used price was right around $65 or more. And this was frequently buy boxing at $80 plus, even sometimes getting up to $100. And you can see that even though this book is going down in value, it's right around $17, $18. The offer count is actually the same as it was this time last year. So the offer count isn't spiking, but the price of it's going down. If we look at the last 2,800 days, this is a book that in the past definitely has had times where it's gone down in value and then gone back up in value, and potentially, in the past does have historical sales data selling for well over $100. So for me, this is something that would be an absolute winner right here. I'd want to pick this up for, probably it's going to be with shipping right around $20, $21, $22, and then hopefully sell for 50, 60, 70, maybe even more than that. You can see if you look on Amazon, we got $24.85, we got $20.87, and then it goes up to, it looks like $27, $28. So there's potentially, this is an offer I would definitely consider buying because it's in good condition. The seller has 98% feedback, which is good. This one's in acceptable condition. It is also $24.85. You have okay feedback, so you might consider that. And with books that are for high school teacher edition books, I probably wouldn't be as worried about the condition. I guess the point I'm trying to make is if this were a book that were like a collectible book or a book that's very niche that somebody would probably want to be nice and taken care of, then I'd definitely consider the condition of the book a lot more. But if this is a book for high school, if it's a book for a teacher, I might not be as harsh with decision in terms of buying acceptable copies or not. But in any case, this is a book that I think will do great. Another sign that this is a book that's probably going to continue to be healthy is that the buy box price, even in the off season, is still $82. And again, offer count is quite low. And then what's also amazing about this book is there's really only 4 or 5 offers that are under $30, and then it goes up to 45, and then up to 60, and then 82. So this is a book that I think is going to be killer. I'm going to pick up a couple copies of this book. I bet you I'll probably sell both of them for right around the $60 mark, probably even before it's going to be high school textbook season. So if I pick up both those copies for right around 25 and sell them for 65, we're looking at about $16 profit, 65% ROI. If I wanted to wait out a little bit longer and, if I could get the buy box price at 82, which it would be very likely I could win the buy box because I've been, selling books for so long. If you sold it for 82, all of a sudden you're looking at over 100% ROI. What I want to tell you is that we're not even halfway through the first of 4 pages with 310 products with just this very simple filter. So I sell tons of teacher edition books on teacher edition listings, and that's an easy way for you to find them. If you're interested in other ways that you can source books and you really found value in this video, then definitely consider joining the A2A Masterclass. It's 100 videos over 10 modules that I put together. I'm a teacher, so I put it together, organize it really well, and you can learn how to get sales tax exempt. You can learn about the best credit card for A2A flips. You can learn all my different strategies for finding books using Kiva. It's by far the best way for me to teach you how to do it for the cheapest way possible, because if you were to pay me for one-on-one coaching, it'd be expensive only to the fact that I have limited time, so I'd be charging quite a bit. So it's a very affordable price in my opinion, and I charge definitely well under what I think it's actually worth. And I do that so that you guys have the opportunity to learn how to do the model without it hurting the bank, but also being enough so that, you would have to commit to this. Like, you'd have to be serious about this. So if you're interested, join the A2A Masterclass. There's over 200 people in it. And again, I've only heard positive things about it so far. So that's all I got for you guys today. Tons of ways to source books on Amazon. This is just one of many. And I'm really excited about the opportunity. And it's definitely been life-changing. So hope you guys enjoy the video. I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.